Okay, hi, welcome back everybody. So remember in last video we actually built this textView controller and we've laid out all of the outlook for it, and it seems to be working, but actually it's not. So let's just implement this down button here real quick. So the first thing first is we want to actually get the integer the user selected, and to do this we will use our textView delegate again, and so now we will actually use this method called did select row. So this is actually really an equivalent method for table view, deselect row at, but this is just like the textView version for it. So this method just says when the user deselected the row at this integer and in component this integer, what should we do? But now we actually don't care about component because we only have one. So actually we can just get the age, and the age is really just a row number. So age is just row. And also in order to pass this age variable back to our view controller here, there's a easy way to do this is just to set a global variable here. We can set a var age of type int and give it a initial value -1. Okay, and then here we can just directly assign the row number to our age variable here. Okay, so back to our done button. Great. So now we have the age variable, and what we need is just the name string and the type string. So here we can actually directly fetch our cell. Oh, let me name it better. So name cell equal to, no, we should do camel case here. So name cell equal to table view. So this is really just calling the table view member. Yeah, this one. And it has a method called self_row at, and it takes an index path, so we can construct an index path for it. Oops. Okay. And among all these initializers, we choose this one, and we know that the name cell is the first cell in the first section. And yeah, we also have to hardcast it to our customized cell type. Otherwise, Xcode only know that this is a cell, but it doesn't know that it's like the cell of this type. So a type cell is the second cell in our first section. Okay, after we get our cells, we can directly access their text view to fetch our string. So let's name equal to name cell dot text view dot text. Oops, not text color. Yeah, just text. So this is really like the same thing as we did with the text field object. And here, let me change it to type. And now we can just call our cat class to add our cat. So the name takes in our name variable, and age is just the age global variable here in that class. And image, so now we can just hardcode in an image because in a simulator we really don't have any way to access and the photos, but you can definitely implement the function for its user to select photo from their album if you can test your app on your phone. So okay, I think that's pretty much it. So we can recompile. And I think because this step is like relatively easy, so it should work. Okay, so let's try out our function here. So for name, let's just give it a quote R and type. Let's give it a type, yeah. I'll give it the same type as the one I used in our first introduction video, and well, H4. Okay. And then hit done. And hopefully we can see the corresponding entry in our table view. Yeah, so it's here. So the name and the type and the age, all correct. No problem. This is good. So basically, this functionality here is already implemented, but somehow we still feel unsatisfied with it. Why? Because you can see there are like this table view here is still not beautiful enough, because actually we want our text view here to be empty when we click on it. So we want this default value to just disappear when we type on it. And also we want the default value to be back if we ended editing but there's nothing in it. And also the other thing is we want our text color to become black when we type in our input. And the other thing is we actually want the age number to appear here when we selected an value, so that when we close this picker view here, we can still see our input. And the last thing is we actually want to disable our done button here when this form has not been completed. We want to like enable this button only after we have finished our name field, finished our type field, and also finished our age field. So these are like some user interface optimization, and in this video I'll actually show you how to do that. So a large part of what I have said has something to do with our text view, right? And in order to actually complete those functionality, we have to use yet another delegate. Yes, I think you already know its name. It's called UI text view delegate. Yes, And well, it's good because it doesn't have like any required method for it to implement actually. But it is a very useful delegate. So here, additional to the speaker view delegate data source, we'll assign our text view a delegate 2. So delegate equal to self. And let me just do another mark here. So these are our picker view methods, and below this line are our text view methods. Okay, great. So this delegate really provides us with a lot of useful methods, and one of them is called did begin editing. This one. So this method will be like executed every time when it detects that the user just has just begun to edit this current text view. So what we want to do is we want to clean out the default value of the current cell, the current text view. But we don't want to clean out the text view if like the content is actually typed in by us. So we have to do an if statement here, and we can actually check like using different conditions here, but I will just actually check the text color because we'll make the default value to be gray and the user input string to appear black. So if the text value is gray, text color equal to gray. Okay. So now we actually want to set the text here to be empty string. Oh, sorry. No. Yeah. This one. Alright. Otherwise, we just won't touch it at all. Okay. So another super descriptive and also super useful method is called did and editing. Okay, so as you probably have already guessed, this method will be called when the user just quit editing this current text view. So what we want to do here is if let me copy this. If it detects that the current text is actually equal to an empty string, we want to reset the value in our text view back to the default value, so name and type. But here we encounter a problem. So how can we distinguish between the first and second row here? In this cell class, we don't have any information about the index of the current cell, right? However, well, Xcode provides us with a super convenience attribute in textView for us to use actually. So go back to our view controller here and to our cell for row ads. So here we can actually give our text view a tag. So a tag is really just an integer which belongs to this text view here. I'm actually not sure what is its like original purpose, but here we will just use it to like assign the row number to it. So oh no, so index path dot row. Okay, so that since the row number is already like associated with our text view here, the text view in the first row will have number 0, the second row will have number 1, which is very ideal. So here we can just check the tag of our text view here. So if text view.tag equal to 0, we want to set our text back to name, else we want to set the text back to type. Okay, nice. So the next thing is we want to change the text color, just as I mentioned. So here did begin editing, and yeah, now we can actually set our text color to be black here. Okay, and here correspondingly we will just set the text color back to gray. Alright, I think that's pretty much it for our text view settings. And yeah, another thing is we want the integer to like appear here right beside our age label. So but actually let me compile this one first. So to do that, we actually want to go back to our deselect row method here for our bigger view, and we need to actually like reload the second section in our table view in order to do that, because only after reloading the data can we change the value up here in our age label. So in this area we actually want to reload the second section in our table view. Okay, so here we encounter another problem. We're in our cell class and we're like totally separated from our view controller class here. So how can we actually access our table view and do a reload similar to something like this? We don't have any like pointer pointing to this table view in our cell class, right? So here I will like show you another super hacky way to do this. It's not a good idea to actually do this kind of stuff in your production app, but you just like just for a quick demonstration, let us set a variable here. So variable, let's call it add view controller, and let it just be this type. So it is really just an object instantiated from this class. Okay. So it needs an initializer, so let's just initialize to new. So it's currently just an empty pointer. Let's add an option here. Okay. So now we have a global variable, which is a object of type this class. And what we would do next is actually go to our viewDidLoad method and assign ourselves to this pointer or object. So there's actually no the conception of pointer in Swift, but you should know that this is actually just a pointer. So we should call out our variable, and yeah, it's this one. So remember to distinguish between the upper and lower case, and let it equal to self. So this self here is, I said, like I once mentioned that the self is like the class here, but not exactly, because the self is actually a pointer pointing to the current object instantiated from this class. So yeah, okay. The reason I did that is because now go back to our cell class, we can actually access our view controller here through this pointer variable. So go back to here. Now we can, well, actually, let me just copy the copy this line here and paste. So now we can actually use our global variable and go back and use its table view attribute. So we call reload data, and we initialize index set integer 1. Oh, I think we have to, oops, sorry, cannot see that. I have to unwrap this. Yeah, here we just like reload our second section. Okay, and go back to our view controller. We actually have to like set the reset our initial value for our age label. So here, yeah, just go back to our self or row at method and go to our age label branch. And here we set the initial value to be age, but now we actually want to check the value of our age variable first. So if the age variable is equal to -1, then the label will just appear to be the default value. Otherwise, we want the label to be age space and plus the string of our age integer. Okay, so that's actually let me show you the result from our last edit. So yeah, okay. You can see the name default value just disappeared when we click into it, and when we left, like go back to name, and then also when we start to type something, so like AAA, you can see our text color change to black, and we haven't like compiled for this part yet, so let me recompile again. Okay, so we finished like beautifying the age label here. The next thing we want to do is okay. So first of all, here in our done button here, we directly like access our first and second cell and to just get our name and type text from them, right? But this is like not super ideal because what if when we tap the done button, the text in there is actually just a default name and type string? So actually I want to like create two like separate variable name and type somewhere, so they can be empty when the text view here shows showing like default value, but they will become like the user input value when there are some real user input in these text views. So to do this, let's go back to our cell and write after our age variable, let's declare two more. So the first one is just name, and the second one is type, and initialize them using empty string. Okay, so let's check our result from last time. Okay, beautiful. So it's oh wait, we can actually have a bug here because every time when we select something, it will like automatically pop back to some row. So yeah, we will fix this later, but now actually let me just complete this first. So we have set these two variables here. Now we actually want to assign, like use them in our textView delegate method. So here. Now we can call out another delegate method, which is also very useful. So it's like it's called this one. So textView did change. It will be called like whenever the text in our text view has changed, even just by one character. So now we actually want to assign, let's condition on our tag here too. So copy this. So if we are in our name tag, if we are in our name cell, we want to set our name variable to be the text in our text view. Otherwise, we want the type variable to be the text. Okay, so now whenever the user has edited these two fields, the value of these two variables will get changed, but otherwise they will just stay empty, which is good. So here, instead of using these 4 lines, we can directly just use our name and age variable here. Beautiful. So actually, there's a small stuff I want to add here. Is whenever we click done or clear, we want to reset our name and type variable to be empty, and also reset our age to be -1, and the same for our clear button, because if we don't do this, when we add the next cat, these global variables will still have the same value as last time, which is not good, because that means when we type the done button, it will just add exactly the same thing into our array. Okay, so now let me take a look at this bug here. That should be in our picker view. I suspect the problem is because when we select our row here, we are reloading our entire second section, and which might affect our picker view here too. So yeah, let's see. There should be another reload method which only reloads a reload for row. Okay. So the animation is also just alright, I'll just type myself. Automatic, and here it wants an array of index paths. So now let's just create an index path for it. Yeah. Okay. So can initialize an index path. Alright. It's not providing us with initializers here, probably because we're in a bracket. Let's go outside of this bracket to see. Okay. I will just copy this from this file. I think this is definitely used somewhere here. Oh yeah, it was used here, but I just deleted that. That's okay. Let me copy this one and then just redo everything. Now we can just paste here, and we actually just want to reload the first row of our second section. And now let's delete this line and recompile. And hopefully everything just works as charm. Great. Let's first see our bug here. Okay. Nice. It's not like reloading itself every time again. Although when we like reopen it, the initial value like is not staying at the value it has just selected. So we have to consider how to fix that too, probably later. So another thing I think we have done is actually, what is the thing we have done? So okay, for example, let's just leave these two fields blank and see what will the done button do. Yeah, okay, great. So the name and type here are just blank here, and I think that's already enough for this video. And the next one, we'll actually like configure our done button here so that it will be disabled when like one of these three fields are like empty. So great. See you in the next video.